So it's been 3 months since we finished lambing, and I thought it'd be a fun idea, actually one of my subscribers suggested this, to do a little video comparing them when they were born with how they look now, which is middle of July. So that's what this video is. I hope you enjoy it. And I don't have every lamb. Not all the lambs love to get their pictures taken, not like our Septima here, or Adriana. So I hope you like it. I had a lot of fun putting it together. Thanks. babies. She's a good girl. These are Cookie's girls. you've decided you want to add a Majacraft spinning wheel to your collection. So congratulations, very excited for you. But one thing that you are struggling with is, what is the difference between the Rose and the Suzie? And I'm going to tell you that you are in very good company, because it's probably the most commonly asked question that I get. So the person that's looking to decide between these two wheels is just spinning your standard sport weight yarns, maybe a little bit on the finer side. So she's not doing an art yarn, and she doesn't need the portability. So what I wanted to do was to answer all of your questions and address the differences and the similarities between the Rose and the Suzie. So we're just going to get started with the physical appearance of the two wheels. The Rose wheel is known for the spoked drive wheel. So you can see it's got these wooden spokes. It looks a little bit more traditional. The Suzie has a solid MDF drive wheel with a remove veneer. So, and it's a smaller drive wheel. So the Rose drive wheel is roughly 17 inches diameter. The Suzie drive wheel is roughly, I believe it's 13 inches, so a difference of 4 inches. What that does is, the Rose then is more suited for spinning finer yarns, because you get higher ratios, which are better suited for spinning more lace weight. So there are differences between the two wheels, but if you are looking just to spin standard weight yarns, they're both going to work. So the first thing I tell people is, which wheel do you think you like better in terms of aesthetics? Which wheel do you think looks better? And the aesthetics are, you know, the spoked wheel versus the MDF. The etching, the decoration. On the Suzie, there's a clematis on the stem. And then there's a pretty clematis design on the drive wheel. On the Rose, there's a beautiful rose on the stem, and that's all the decoration there is. There's no decoration on the drive wheel. So I'm just going to take a quick little sidebar here to tell you that any Majacraft wheel can be customized to have no design or a different design. It does take longer because you're not ordering from my inventory by, you know, ordering a standard item. But, you know, if there's a decoration or a design that speaks to you that you want to put onto your forever Majacraft wheel, that is something that certainly can be entertained. Okay, so back to comparing the Rose and the Suzie. I guess that's like the biggest difference is the drive wheel. There's a couple other differences. One is the Suzie has a bobbin storage bar, and it's integrated into the wheel. The Rose has a bobbin storage unit that's separate that can also double as a lazy Kate. So that's one difference between the two wheels. They both have two treadles, so that gives you a very even treadling action. You're not like working yourself to get over the hump with a single treadle. And they actually both have the same base. So the treadles and the bottom part are the same dimension. On the Rose, obviously your drive band is going to be larger, so they're not the same. So when you're ordering a drive band for either wheel, make sure you're ordering the correct one. The Rose drive band only works on the Rose. The Suzie drive band actually works on the Suzie, the Pioneer, and the Aura. So that and it's just because of the size of the drive wheel. Let me just flip these wheels around. So as far as how they feel when you treadle, in my opinion, they feel identical. I've spun with both. Actually, these are the two wheels that I spin with the most often. And to me, the action and the effort I have to put into treadling is exactly the same on both. That's probably because the treadles are the same, and also it's the same cranking system. The Rose has a slightly different sized conrod, I believe. It's a different part number. But the crank assembly, the actual technology, is exactly the same on both wheels. They're so lovely and quiet. Okay. I'm going to turn it back around. But actually, I can tell you this other thing. So the wheels come standard with certain accessories, and the pricing is bundled that way. So the price the Rose is at has the Rose wheel plus the accessories that come with it. If you pull out accessories and replace, or if you add accessories, it's not a one-for-one pricing situation. So just be aware, when an accessory is bundled with a wheel, it's 75% of its actual price is how it's calculated in with the wheel. So if you decide you want to mix and match, that's fine, but it's not always going to be a one-to-one switch out. So the Rose comes with a lot more accessories. The Rose comes with 2 whirls. It comes with this slow whirl, and it also comes with the Suzie whirl, which is a smaller whirl. So that gives you more ratio possibilities. And the Suzie just comes with the Suzie whirl. So the Suzie is the one that's got the simpler accessories, and the Suzie is less expensive as well by a few $100s. It's a noticeable difference in price between the two. So yeah, so the Suzie will come with 4 black plastic bobbins, as does the Rose. The Suzie just comes with the Delta Flyer. The Rose comes with a standard fine flyer and a Delta Flyer. So the Delta Flyer has all open orifices. It's very easy to load. The standard fine flyer has a closed ceramic lined orifice, and then the guides are open. So you'll need an orifice tool in order to load your Rose if you're using that flyer. The spinning head themselves are the same. It's actually the same part number when we reorder them. So that's a similar part for both wheels. To add accessories and remove accessories, it's the same process. You remove the JCB bolt up here so that you're opening up this section of the wheel. You can pull off the standard heads. Both wheels can accommodate an overdrive head as well as a high-speed head. I have heard commentary from the folks at Majacraft that putting a high-speed head on the Rose could be a little bit overkill, just because the ratios go so high that you know, you might be just kind of taking it a little bit further than what's logical. But having said that, both wheels can handle those accessories. Both wheels can handle the stylus kit, lace kit. So they both have the same level of flexibility. I think that's pretty much the main differences. Another difference between the two is the Suzie is heavier, and that's as a result of this solid wheel versus the spoked wheel of the Rose. So that solid wheel, you can tell the difference in the weight. You can just by me just shifting them. But the solid wheel has more heft. The Suzie is heavier by 2 pounds, actually. So that's kind of a big difference. They both have the feature where you can loosen the handle nut and shift your wheel from one side to the other in order to, let's say you like to, you know, draft from one side or another, or you want to do long draw spinning. So they both have that tilting stem capability. The ratios on the Rose with the standard setup, with the standard whirls that come with the Rose, go from somewhere around 4-to-1 all the way up to 22-to-1. So that's where it gets its reputation for being ideal suited for lace spinning. The Suzie, because it only comes with the one pulley, with the standard setup, the ratios are narrower. So with the Suzie, the ratios are 4.4 to 16, that range. I feel, in my opinion, that that ratio is perfectly adequate to be able to spin the majority of the yarns. You may want to add a lace kit or a fast whirl if you wanted to go to a really fine lace weight. I stock both of these wheels. I stock all of the wheels. So the availability for both of these is, you know, pretty much within a week. I would have it to you because I stock them here in Western New York. Another thing is that Majacraft has a storage bag for the Suzie that you can use. They don't have a storage bag for the Rose. So at this point in time, there's nothing available to put your Rose in. I actually purchased a denim carrying bag for my Rose. It's kind of like an all-purpose bag. So there are bags out there if you want to have a bag to carry, which I kind of recommend. They're always stored in the bags, and it just makes it really easy to move them. The wood is softer. It's a Rimu wood. It's indigenous to New Zealand. So the wheels can get dings pretty easily. If you drop something on them or if you bang it into something, you'll get a little bit of a ding. You know, and it's just an aesthetic. It's not going to affect the operation of the wheel, but that's why it's a good idea to put them in a carrying bag. And I have those in stock as well. They're both Scotch tension, which means the flyer leads and the bobbin follows. So the bobbin is free flowing on the flyer shaft, but the flyer is leading. It's going with the drive wheel. They're connected, whereas the bobbin is free. So that's Scotch tension. Like I said before, the head is the same head, so you can take the head off and flip it so that you can, if you want to have your flyer on the other side, you just take everything apart and flip it around and reassemble it so that you have your left or right hand flyer. So that's a kind of a convenient thing with the head. You can also, you can also raise and lower the head with both wheels. Roughly the orifice height is about the same on both of them. They have the same height. So when you order a wheel, you know, you pretty much get what you get. They're all completely unique because of the grain of the wood. So when we talk about the weight of the wheels, one of the things that contributes to weight is grain. So this Suzie wheel's got a lot of grain to it. So that might also be contributing to why when I'm carrying it, I feel like it's quite heavy. So hopefully this helps. I mean, it's a really difficult decision to choose between the Rose and the Suzie. And like I said, it's universal. I actually have like a standard email that I reply to people with that ask me this question because I get it so frequently. I will be writing up a companion blog to this video that'll have all this stuff detailed out to help you make your decision of which wheel you want. I don't think it would make sense to get both, you know. I mean, I think it would make sense to have an Aura, a little gem, and then one of these wheels. And I think that would be a good collection. You know, your Aura is really great for the art yarn. It's a totally different spinning experience. The little gem is incredibly portable. You can take it on a plane. Rose, maybe because of the way the standard setup is, maybe a little bit well suited for spinning finer yarns. I kind of look at the Suzie as just the workhorse. I actually think I prefer the Suzie over the Rose. I like the compactness. I really like the integrated storage bar. I like the fact that you've got decoration on both sides. So, and I also like the fact that this was the original Majacraft wheel. I don't know. So if I were selecting today, I would select the Suzie wheel. So hopefully this helps. Again, you know, I know it's a difficult decision for you to make, and hopefully this made it a little bit easier. If you have any questions or want more information, just feel free to reach out to me or leave me a comment with any more questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks.